welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my video. Today another video, and today I'm going over my backpack on my back. This is an old backpack that I bought I think 15 years ago or something, and when I was looking into backpacks, as I said in my previous video, I obviously also had to check out the backpack that I'm actually already having to see if it's any good, if it is what I want, now that I understand what I need from a backpack. So today I'm walking for the second time with this backpack, and I'm going to just explain a couple of things and tell you a little bit about this backpack. Okay, so the backpack that I have is a wildebeest something, and as I mentioned, it's about 15 years old. So I bought this backpack for a holiday back then, and I think I used it once for that holiday, and then a friend of ours used it once, and besides that I never used it, and it just lay there. And now with me preparing, I also research clothing and bags, as I said in the previous video. And I will just mention a couple of things that I figured out. So the first thing that I figured out is that your support is very important in regards to where it's located, and it needs to be on your hips. And to accomplish that, your back support needs to be adjustable, to adjust it for your back length. And this bag has that. This bag has a good hip support, and it has an adjustable back. So that is fantastic. The bag that I was looking at also has it. I think it was the Osprey Rook 60. I mentioned that in the previous video. So this bag also has the very important magic straps or load straps on the top here, so I can pull the weight in. Also, it has compression straps on the side to pull the load towards your center of gravity, let's say. It has a section at the bottom for a sleeping bag, so you can access that easily, and then obviously a main compartment with some other storage compartments as well. So in that regard, it is a very nice backpack that already has a lot of features that I wanted. Now the other thing that most new backpacks have, it is attachments for drinking systems. This backpack also doesn't have a hole for a bladder or a pocket for a bladder, but it does have the ability to put the straw over your shoulder. So that's fine as well. Now, when I was watching some videos, people said that you want to have like some robe or like gauze sections on your back. So if you have wet socks or wet clothes, for example, that you can, or dirty underwear, that you can put it on the outside of the bag to also air out. This bag also has that, and it has a top cover that makes it watertight. So basically it has everything that I want from a backpack. So this is now the second time for me walking with this backpack, and to see if I actually like the backpack. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it. Last time I packed my backpack or my rucksack in it and a couple of other smaller items. This time I packed a little bit more in it even. I have a bottle of water and everything fitted. So it is a great backpack, and I really enjoy it. It feels like I'm carrying nothing, while I'm actually carrying, I think, maybe 5 kgs, maybe even more of stuff. So I'm actually carrying quite a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot, but I'm carrying quite some weight, and I just don't really feel it at all. It is like it's not there. It is amazing. And the reason why this is an important point to make in general is that I had this backpack for 15 years I never knew what I had basically. Now I understand what I need, I want from a backpack, and it turns out I already had it. And this is a good example of when you're prepping, as I mentioned before, look around the house first, what you already have, and do your research, and then you might figure out that you actually are already prepared slightly for certain things. So this is an example of it. In my previous video on clothing, I also mentioned a vest that I got in. This is the vest, it's a fleece vest. It's not the second time, so I'm just wearing a t-shirt underneath, and then I have my vest on, and it's perfect because when I'm getting outside, it's now I think like 10 degrees Celsius, so it is quite fresh, yeah, quite cold, not too cold, but it's not minus or anything. But so when I get out of the house, it is yeah, it is cold, but as soon as I start walking, it is really nice. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Then also I mentioned socks. I bought some hiking socks that came highly recommended, and I really didn't like them. They were thin, and they were just really stretchy as well. So when I put them on, my heel was at my ankles, and I was like, yeah, do I now need to make it less tight? And I just, it was so stretchy and soft, and they started turning on my feet as well, instead of staying where they're supposed to stay. So I really didn't like them. And with this vest I also bought some other socks, and they came highly recommended, but it's like an unknown brand. And I have to say, I'm really happy with them. They are thick in the right places and thin in the right places. They have a good shape to them, and they don't change shape, and they are really supportive, and I like them a lot. With my hiking shoes, they bring a lot of support. They are expensive, but they really are very nice. So it goes to show again that sometimes when you do your research, you figure out that what you already have is actually fine or good enough. And that means that you can move on to the next point. So, looking at myself, what is my next point? Well, that's a good question. I do now have a brand of socks that I really like. I want to buy a second pair. Or maybe even a third pair. And then for my shirt I have what I want. I'm not gonna buy an outer layer because I think it's just silly expensive, and for the weather that we are having, I have to deal with whatever I have. So yeah, that is out of the question. My next point would be, for this bag I want two, let's say, pouches. One medical pouch with molly clips that I can mount to the outside of my bag so that I can easily reach it. The second thing is also a pouch with molly attachment, and that one would be my EDC pack that I also want to be able to make or be able to mount to the outside of my bag. Now this backpack, this hiking backpack, does have additional clips and straps, so it would be, I think, quite easy to mount them to my bag. So I do have a medical backpack, and one that I really like, but it doesn't have any way of mounting it, so it's now in my bag. But then that means that I have to open my bag to get to my first aid kit, and also these two things I actually want to be able to have with me in my car, for example, and therefore I want to have them on the outside of my bag when I'm going hiking, and I want to have them in my car, for example, when I'm driving. So I want to make sure that they're easier to take with me, and that's basically why I am looking for those two pouches next. Another thing that I really want is a good wool blanket in case I get cold or whatever. So in my bag right now I have a sleeping bag, and I have tarp, and I have let's say the stuff to make a roof tarp. So some herrings and some rope and diamond shaped tarp, let's say, that you can hang, and you need to make your own sticks to make it work. Or you suspend it, it's also a possibility. But yeah, if you then get cold with your backpack and yeah, you just want to have, or if you were wet, for example, your backpack is wet, then you want to have a wool blanket. So that is something I also want. Then for cooking, I have a stove, but I don't really have a proper pan that I trust. And also I don't have a good drinking bottle for it on my bag with a sipping straw, and preferably the option to have a filter in there as well. So yeah, that is also something on the list. I forgot to film an outro of this video, so here's my outro. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode. I hope this was informative. Bye bye.